he win, this fight with Lomachenko, then he just say anything out of his mouth, So I think sometimes people get big-headed, and they forget. But I mean, he did what he had.
Because but you got to learn how to balance the emotions. Emotion is a different kind of schooling, I'll tell you that. But then going back to it, I tried to fight Isaac Cruz. They said no. Sabrina Matias complained about his hand, but now he's fighting in June. I'm fighting in June. We could have made the fight happen. They didn't want it. And then after that, Devin Haney had that situation with Ryan Garcia. Boom. So there's nobody else, really.
He win, this fight with Lameno, then he just say anything out is smoke, so I think it just sometimes people get big-headed, and they forget. But I mean, he did what he had to do. Gervonta Davis has taken brutal shots at Teofimo Lopez on live. Lopez defended his title against Steve Claggett this weekend. Speculation about a potential showdown with Haney looms as the takeover emerged victorious. However, the New Yorker suggests that a clash against Tank Davis would provide a more visually appealing bout. Haney currently holds the title of WBC's super lightweight champion in recess due to his recent match with Ryan Garcia in April, which was declared a no contest when Garcia tested positive for performance-enhancing substances. Lopez said of Haney, "He is nowhere near any picture. He has been helped a lot. In many ways, they wanted to make him seem like he is the greatest. I don't hate the kid. I'm not knocking him down." Lopez added that when he lost to George Boso's Devin and his father were jumping up and down celebrating. However, when Devin lost to Garcia, Lopez did not react the same way. Instead, he simply accepted it and wished Devin nothing but the best, understanding what it feels like to lose. He added, "I believe Haney is someone who reaches a certain level in life and is going to stay there forever. I have already proved I'm a level above Haney. Without having to fight him, I don't need to face this guy. He has just lost." Lopez, expressing his desire to someday fight in the UK, isn't underestimating Canadian CL Clag. He emphasizes his preference for challenging bouts driven by his pursuit of greatness. The 26-year-old said, "I have got a tough competitor ahead of me. He is hungry. It is almost like a Rocky Balboa story for this guy. I can't overlook anybody. He does not stop throwing punches. He has everything to gain. I have everything to lose. I always pick the toughest fights. My resume speaks loudly." Lopez added that one cannot claim to be arguably the best in the world without facing the best. He argued that it's not possible to call oneself the Muhammad Ali of this generation without accomplishing what Muhammad Ali did, nor can one be considered a throwback fighter without facing and overcoming adversity. Lopez emphasized that if he made such claims without backing them up, he would be a hypocrite and it would be talking smack rather than speaking the truth. He further mentioned, "I am only getting better. I am not at my prime just yet, but we are reaching it. I think that's the best part. I aim for greatness. And I always have the tremendous amount of fighters I have faced already at a young age. Because of those champions and their styles, I have only got better. It appears that Team Lopez wants all the smoke." He added, "Who would I be if I didn't face the best? That is the only way I become greater." In a previous interview, Lopez remarked that his sights are now set on Terence Crawford, a two-time undisputed world champion. Crawford's recent victory over Errol Spence Jr., where he forced Spence to the canvas 3 times before securing a TKO in the 9th round, solidified his position as the welterweight division's undisputed champion. Tapo currently holds the WBO championship in a weight division just shy of Bud's. However, there's a twist in the narrative. Crawford is stepping up to 154 Ulbs to take on WBA title holder Israel Madoff on August 2nd. Will Lopez follow suit and leap to 154? The clock is ticking, with Crawford turning 37 in September, adding urgency to the decision-making process. Lopez, shifting focus from Crawford, now sets his sights on challenging the star of the lightweight scene, Tank Davis. Boldly, he directly addresses the undefeated boxer with a notable record of 30-0 and 28 knockouts, currently holding the WBA lightweight title. In a tone that borders on dismissive, the question looms: can Lopez handle the weight fluctuations necessary to face off against both Crawford and Tank in their distinct weight classes? Because but you got to learn how to balance the emotions. Emotion is a different kind of schooling, I'll tell you that. But then going back to it, I tried to fight Isaac Cruz. They said no Sabrio matters, complain about his hand, but now he's fighting in June. I'm fighting in June. We could have made the fight happen. They didn't want it. And then after that, Devin Haney had that situation with Ryan Garcia. Booms. So there's nobody else really. Lopez exuded unwavering confidence in the build-up to his bout, gracefully fielding media inquiries rather than dwelling on his imminent match against a 35-year-old Canadian journeyman with a checkered record. The spotlight pivoted predictably towards his future aspirations in a candid interview with Fight Hub TV. Leading up to his title defense clash with Steve Claggett, Lopez articulated his ambitious blueprint for what lies ahead. When asked about who he would want to fight next, Lopez told the media house the big dog, the Mac Daddy of them all, and that's Terrence Blood Crawford. Knowing that Crawford will be on his way out of the boxing business soon, Lopez confidently stated, "I'll go up to 54, I'll go up to weight classes, it's been done, why can't I do it?" Sensing disbelief in one of the reporters, he further emphasized, "Now, you don't believe it, I like it, put your whole house in it. So I can take it from you." His first challenge would be against Crawford, followed by a descent in weight to confront the diminutive powerhouse Von Davis. He added, "I will take Crawford first, because Crawford is on his way out in first. He's the lineal champion. Still, we take him out, and then we go back to the little mini-me." And that's Tank. Lopez has demonstrated his willingness to face top contenders in the division. In October 2020, he challenged the highly skilled and elite fighter Lomachenko, who held the WBA and WBO belts at the time. Lopez emerged victorious via points decision, thereby becoming the unified world lightweight champion in the super lightweight division last year. He secured the WBO's super lightweight title by defeating Josh Taylor through a unanimous decision. Lopez notably became the first professional boxer to defeat Taylor, who had previously held undisputed status at super lightweight. In contrast to the formidable and talented opponents he has encountered before, he is set to fight Canadian boxer Claggett at the James L. Knight Center in Miami, Florida. Following a controversial and lackluster unanimous decision win over Jermaine Ortiz in his recent bout, he's opted for a less challenging opponent this time to regain his confidence. This strategic move leads his pursuit of top-tier competition in the boxing world. As Teofimo Lopez defeated Steve Claggett this weekend, Bob Arum has acknowledged that the New York fighter has a number of significant battles ahead of him. A strong defense for Lopez can make room for players like Terrence Crawford, Ryan Garcia, and Gervonta Davis. Arum, Lopez's promoter, who has guided him to many memorable wins, believes that Brian Norman could be next for Lopez after the Claggett fight. If Lopez decides to move up to 147 Ulbs, the American youngster who currently holds the WBO interim champion title at welterweight could be his ideal opponent. Bob Arum said, "We've had Lopez all of his career, and I think there are a lot of big fights out there for him, but Claggett is not an easy fight for him. I think the Crawford one would be a good fight down the line. But the fight we make first is Teofimo against Brian Norman, who is the WBO welterweight at 147. Teofimo Lopez is a character that splits opinions. He has both hot and cold blows. As a combatant, however, he may be fantastic. When he blows hot, when he first began fighting, being the best was all that mattered, not the consequences of having a prosperous career." Lopez said, "I never did it for fame. I never did it for the purpose of popularity. I did it just to be the best fighter in the world. As a young kid, I wanted to be the best fighter in the boxing game. That's it. No one of everything. And look at this. I'm only 26. The other guys that they're rooting for, like Anu Crawford, and them, they're on their way out, or they're in their 30s already. I'm a baby. And look how much I've done in the landscape." Lopez added that he is a two-time lineal world champion. At just 25 years old, having achieved everything faster and earlier than his peers, he expressed indifference to others' opinions, stating that people can say and do what they want for him. It's all about competition, and he looks forward to being the best version of himself in his upcoming fight and future matches. He emphasized that he is ready for whatever is planned for him in September and December. Fame, a byproduct of success, also brings added strain and entails not only loss of privacy, but also enduring intrusion on social media and constant accessibility to trolls. Despite this, Lopez is content to bear this burden and even asserts that he embraces it. He said, "You've got to realize everything has a price." Everything, he said. When you become the best, obviously, there's people out there that's going to recognize the best, so you have to understand. I don't like to say that I'm famous. That's something that I don't like to do because I don't believe I'm famous. Lopez further added that he believes he is the best fighter in the world. He noted that if others see this belief as fame, he doesn't know what else to tell them. He emphasized that this is part of the journey, explaining that upcoming fighters and those aspiring to reach the top must understand that this is what comes with the territory. He added, "You have to be prepared for every type of angle. You cannot just be the best and say, I'm going to have peace in my life. No, you're going to be the best and you're going to have peace, but you're going to have peace amongst the people. You have to learn how to orchestrate it."